Hi guys, this is Matt Clendenin here, and this week I'm doing a joint video blog with a good friend of mine, Tom Thi. Tom has taken care of my business and my family's insurance for years now. I trust him, and so he's going to be here to answer some questions about insurance today. So Tom, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey Matt, how's it going? Yes, Tom Thi of Thi Menher Associates. We are located in Mission Valley here in beautiful San Diego. Been in the business for 23 years as an insurance broker. So definitely be glad to help you out and go through some of these coverages with you.
So Tom, I'm on the other side of things. I'm a trial lawyer, so I'm usually wrangling these claims after they've happened. But when it comes to insurance, what do you do for your clients?
So what I do is I try to protect my clients' assets. So what I do is I do an overall comprehensive look at their financial portfolio. So I look at their auto insurance policies, their homeowners insurance policies, and determine if they need an umbrella to go along with that. And we insure all of their miscellaneous as well too. So rental properties, boats and toys and things of that sort. So I just try to make sure that they're covered properly and that one accident doesn't wipe out everything for them. And just to make sure that, yeah, they're good to go and that they're made whole again.
All right. Well, I have my clients tell me, oh, don't worry, I have good insurance. Or they say, I have full coverage. And, sadly, once you really get into it, I find out a lot of times people don't really understand what the different coverages are and how it affects them. So I was going to ask, since I got you here with your expertise, do you want to walk us through a basic auto policy in a deck page and kind of tell people what coverage is?
For sure. Especially here in California, we're talking minimum limits in California. You're talking about $15,000 for bodily injury, $30,000 for each accident, and $5,000 for property damage. And that's all that's required to drive here in California. That's just the minimum limits that's required. So with that, what that means is that the $15,000 for bodily injury, it pays out to somebody else if you're the one who caused the accident, up to a maximum of $30,000 for any one accident that happens, and $5,000 for the property, which is the vehicle that you might have hit or another building of some sort.
And so just to interrupt, when you say liability, you mean that those dollar limits are protecting the insured, the person who purchases the insurance, if they screw up.
Correct. This is if you were the one who caused the accident. So this protects you because you're going to have to pay out for these limits to somebody else, the loss to somebody else. So yes, you are correct. That is for the insured. That's for us.
So that doesn't sound like good news for my clients because I don't represent the person who caused the crash. I represent the person who got hurt from the crash.
Correct.
What you're telling me is that when one of my clients gets hurt, the minimum amount of money in California is $15,000.
You're right, $15,000. That's all that's required by law that you would need in order to drive. And so that's if somebody was carrying that and they hit one of your clients, and that's all the insurance that they have, the insurance company will only pay out the $15,000, and that is it. Yes.
And I've actually heard even worse news. I saw a 2015 study from the Insurance Institute that says about 13 to 15% of all drivers on California roadways are completely uninsured, meaning
correct.
Meaning they're driving illegally with no insurance.
Yeah, a lot of the time is they don't realize that the policy has lapsed. Probably they missed a payment and it canceled out for a week or 2 weeks, and they just forget to make a payment and the policy cancels out. But yeah, and other people, they just don't carry any insurance whatsoever, and then that's kind of where you get into trouble.
I was going to say, so what happens if you're one of my clients and the person who hit you either doesn't have any insurance or has a minimum policy of only $15,000?
So what I would recommend to you and your clients is take a little bit higher policy limits. So in my firm, we will only write $100,000 for bodily injury, $300,000 for each accident, and $100,000 for property damage. So those are my minimum limits in my office. We will not write anything less than those. The reason why we do that, and the uninsured motorist portion of it, is also $100,000 for bodily injury, $300,000 each accident. The uninsured motorist is the important key part of this, is because that pays you out. That pays you as the driver if somebody hits you and they don't have any insurance, your insurance company will pay you the $100,000 for you for any medical attention that you may.
Got it. Well, what if I say, hey, that sounds great. I want to have really, really, really high in case someone hits me, but I only want to have the minimum to pay someone else if I cause the crash. Are you allowed to do that?
You're not. You can only match what you give out to somebody else. So if you only have the state minimums, $15,000, $30,000 of liability paying out to somebody else, the maximum that you can get back for yourself is $15,000, $30,000. So you can't go more than whatever you're paying out to somebody else. So that's the reason why I always match whatever I'm paying out to somebody else. I want the same thing coming back to me and my passengers in my vehicle. And so it's always going to be the $100,000, $300,000 at a minimum coming back to me.
Got it.
And it works. And there's a couple other advantages to that too. Is if the other person that hits you only has $15,000, your insurance company will cover the difference. So they'll pay you the $85,000 to make you whole again to that $100,000.
Got it. And can you give folks, because I can hear my clients right now in the background saying, look, Tom, we get it. We should have $100,000 of insurance at least, and you should have the but that it's just too expensive. Can you give folks a sense of what's the cost difference?
Sure.
Between a minimum policy and then what you're recommending, which is a $100,000 policy.
Yeah. So you're looking at a difference from a minimum 1530 policy to a 100-300 policy. The difference is about $25 to $30 a month is the difference. So that's kind of what you're looking at. What I would recommend to people though is if you are looking at cost.
Hang on. So I just want to make sure people heard that.
Yeah.
The difference to go from a really crappy insurance policy to a good one is 20 more bucks a month, 20 or 30 bucks a month. Yeah.
25 to $30 a month. Yep. And that's about it. It's 25, $30 a month just to make sure you're properly covered in California.
What if I want to be really safe and I want to go for like a really high policy? I mean, is it a lot more expensive?
No, I mean, usually the maximum policy in California is about $500,000 for bodily injury, $500,000 each accident. And when you increase the limits from 100, 300 to 500, you're talking the difference is about $100 a year.
Wait, $100 a year. So that's like $8 a month.
Yeah, about $8 a month. Yeah, so that's what you're looking at. Is once you get to those high limits, it's the difference is minimal.
Gosh, I mean, do you recommend those higher limits for a lot of folks?
I do. I mean, I personally have the higher limits for myself and for the uninsured motorists. So I do have 500 on my uninsured motorists and my liability coverages. Yes, I definitely would recommend that.
And I can personally say that because Tom's my my insurance broker, I also have 500. So
correct. Yes.
I'm glad I'm spending $8 extra to get the really high coverage.
That is right. Yes. Difference is $100 a year.
Wow.
Yeah. But what I would definitely recommend though is look at bundling, packaging your home with the auto. That can sometimes saves you, 15 to 20% on both policies. Look at increasing the deductibles to maybe something a little bit higher. There's occupational discounts and mileage that you drive on an annual basis. If you work from home or you rarely drive your vehicle, that can actually save you a lot of money as well too. So there's different ways of cost cutting some of the premium and still maintaining those high limits.
Got it. Yeah. Well, hey, I hope that was really helpful for folks. I think it was helpful. So the take-home message from Tom is make sure you have at least $100,000 coverage on your policy and you have the to protect yourself.
Definitely.
And I think I'll end. I am always available to do a policy review. If you have any questions, you can call me. Tom, can folks do the same for you?
For sure, definitely. Call my office. Office line is 619-894-9057. And definitely I could do reviews for all your policies.
Great. Needs. And Tom, I'll make sure I link you in the so folks can find your website.
Sounds good.
And Tom is amazing. I highly recommend him for any of your business or personal insurance.
So, thank you, Matt. Thank you so much, Matt.
Doing the blog.
Okay. Take care.